VGC is supported by Patreon. Check out patreon.com/videogameschronicle for more podcasts, ad-free browsing, and extra content. Thank you for your support. The boys are back in town. It's VGC the Video Game Podcast with me, Jordan Midler, and Chris Scullion. This week, Chris is back and nothing else matters. But first, how's it going? He's back, our man in Japan. He escaped right on time, it seems. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm raging that Hulk Hogan couldn't hold out for me coming back.
Yeah.
That's just typical selfishness from the man.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm very happy to be back on.
Do you know Hulk Hogan is actually the deposed emperor of Japan? A lot of people don't know this, but it was just after he was offered the George Foreman grill, he found out that he's distantly related to Emperor Hirohito, brother. So,
was that before or after he was offered the bass player job at Metallica? Was that?
I think slightly after, because Metallica are huge in Japan famously, so that kind of all... Metallica thought, what better way to increase our reach than to have the deposed Emperor of Japan as our bassist, brother? Hell mend them. Have you watched any of this WWE Unreal?
I've watched 2.5 episodes.
I have watched a lot of it via TikTok. And let me tell you something, brother. I feel uncomfortable every time I see any of it because it is it's exposing the business, brother, in ways that they have never done before. That I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a clip going about of CM Punk like laying out the finish to Elimination Chamber, and it's like, this is mad. This is so much further than it's ever been.
It's weird. I really like it, if I'm being honest. Like I get the whole like we shouldn't be peeking behind the curtain, but I think the fact that over the years they've done these kind of WWE 24 things on the network and stuff like that, where I think if this had come out of nowhere like a Beyond the Mat situation and everyone had believed it right up until that very point, and then minds were blown, then I would get it. But I think the fact that they've been setting us up for years and with all these documentaries saying, look, we know this isn't real, this is the story, here's their real name and all that, I think that lessens the impact. But seeing them effing and jeffing backstage is the kind of the big surprise. And I love seeing the kind of the story meetings where they're coming up with different. There's a great one where someone comes up with the mild spoilers, but it's just like one line. They're talking about who's going to win the Women's Rumble, and one of the story writers comes up with a genius idea, which they didn't end up doing, which is where he says, why don't we do whoever there's one woman in the ring and number 29 comes out and they do a double knockout, so whoever comes out as number 30 automatically wins it by default, and Chelsea Green's music hits and she comes out and walks into an empty ring and wins the Rumble. I was like, that would have been brilliant.
I think being a writer for the WWE would be an absolute dream job if the job was just in that boardroom, pitching, like seeing what's going on, not chasing talent around backstage, trying to get them to remember lines and stuff. There's a moment where Joseph Park, otherwise known as Abyss, is the producer for Seth Rollins v CM Punk on Raw's debut on Netflix, which we reviewed on Patreon, by the way, patreon.com/videogameschronicle if you want to listen to that. But he's like freaking out because they're going like 2 minutes over time, and he's like, cut the goddamn Anaconda Vice, you gotta throw that out to Phil, you gotta cut the Anaconda Vice. And then they obviously cut it and he's like celebrating. Oh man, what a stressful, no wonder so many of those boys' hearts explode, or they do like 2 years and then they piss off. Speaking of pissing off, how was Japan? Good fun?
It was good. It was very good. There's numerous stressful moments, like which I'm sure we'll get to at some point. But the most stressful, and it's video game related, which is nice, was during BitSummit, which is one of the reasons I was there. I managed to get like a dream interview lined up at the very last minute. It couldn't be closer to the last minute. It wasn't Shiggers wasn't there, sadly. Shigsy wasn't there, but very close in status. So when I was going to BitSummit, I'd heard that a couple of the greatest composers in video game music history were going to be there, including Nobuo Uematsu, Mr. Final Fantasy, Mr. Fantasy, I believe they call him. And I managed to, I'll get an interview arranged with him later. That could be done later. We agreed with his people that we'll sort that in the future, because he didn't have he had a busy schedule.
Yeah, Matsu Maniacs.
Oh, exactly. Better believe it. But there was rumblings that I might be able to get an interview with Hip Tanaka, who, for people who don't know, like, is video game music. So this is a guy who helped develop the sound chip in the NES and the Game Boy and stuff like that. So even though he didn't do Final Fantasy music or Mega Man music, they all sound the way they do, partly because of him. But he also did Dr. Mario, Kid Icarus, Metroid. Like
this is like as close as you can get to Koji Kondo, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like if Koji Kondo did Mario and Zelda, if you take those away, almost everything else except Tanaka. Tetris on the Game Boy was him. Like so much game music was him. And then, like I said, the sound you hear today in modern fake retro games with the 8-bit sound, or like Anna Managuchi using Game Boys, that's all him. That's because of him, because he created that sound. So I'm like, if I can get him, because he's a genuine hero of mine, he's like top 5 interviews I'd like, that would be amazing. And so I emailed his people, who said someone like help him, and she emailed me back like, while I'm at BitSummit on the last day, she's like, oh, Tanaka-san might be able to be free this afternoon if you want to talk. I'm like, yes, definitely. When do you want it?
You're sprinting across the convention centre.
But they're not. She's like, I'm here with Tanaka-san. We were free. When would you like to talk? And so I replied saying, oh, I'm here, available this time. What do you think? And then I heard nothing like for the rest of the day. And I'm checking my phone all the time and checking my emails. And I'm like, they've given me no contact details. I'm wandering around going, come on. And
you're walking about going, Tanaka-san!
Tanaka! Grabbing the mic going, give me Tanaka-san's head. But so like, with like, something like, I'm making times up here, but it was like roughly 2 o'clock, say, I finally got a message saying, he's available at 3:30. Can you do 3:30? I'm like, yes, definitely. We'll do it. We'll do it. Suddenly, like, I'm standing there, I'm going, how am I supposed to, like, I don't have any notebook. I don't have any pen. I only had my phone. And when you use your phone to record, then you've not got your notes anymore, because you usually give the phone to the person doing the translation so you can pick them up better in the loud room. So I'm like, I need to take notes because I don't want to mess this up. So I run downstairs. The place where the BitSummit was in a big giant hall, and they've got a museum downstairs with a wee museum shop. So I'm like, I'll try and surely they've got a notebook and a pen. So I'm frantically run through the shop looking for some crap. So I got, like, for the benefits of people watching, I got a wee kind of Japanese themed notebook, which I found, and a wee Japanese themed pen. It's very artistic.
I was hoping that you would have to just buy a packet of stickers and try and write your notes in hieroglyphs.
Oh, there's a twist. So I'm sitting there going, Andy would rip me limb from limb if I didn't get something signed by this guy, because that's just what we do. And I'm like, I don't have anything, obviously. And so I know, like, there's a book off, which is like a second-hand thing, like 20 minutes down the road. So I'm like, I'm going. So I left, like, BitSummit instantly, ran in like 35-degree heat, like down the street to this book off, and I'm frantically looking through the shelves because they've got loads of retro stuff. But because tourists pick up all the first-party Nintendo games, nothing. They had absolutely nothing. I'm like, oh, what did I do? I'm like, there's a Mandarake, like, another 20 minutes down the road, like, in the main kind of Kyoto shopping town. I'm like, right. So I'm running. I'm dying here, like in this heat, running down to and it's on the 6th floor of like a
all the time screaming Tanaka.
I'm like, Tanaka! Like, crawling, get to this, like, 6th floor department store's got a Mandarake, which is another kind of second-hand toy shop and game shop. And I see in the shelves, I'm like, I can't do this. They had the CD soundtrack for Super Mario Land, which he also did. Super Mario Land, one of my greatest favourite theme tunes of all time. 400 quid it was. I'm like, no. It's just like, no. I'm like, the last chance, maybe, but that's a lot of money. Go in, I'm crawling through, looking through all the Famicom games, and finally find a boxed Famicom copy of Dr. Mario, which he did. And I'm like, I've already got that. F it, as the kids say, I'll buy a second one. Bought it, ran back, like sweating my arse off. Another 40 minutes back to BitSummit, and I get there 10 minutes before the interview. So I go down to the wee hall and I get my notepad out and start writing. I'm like, I need to write some questions before they start. Take the pen out, and it's like a brush pen, like they do, like they used to do their calligraphy. Like, I'm like, and so my notes are all like really massive, like brush stroke notes. So I finally sit down. It's just all like main notes. So I sit down and I'll take the notebook out, and he's looking down at it as if to say, "What?"
The translator's like, "Can this boy read?"
Made an absolute arse myself. So but it's brilliant. Well, the interview will be up on VGC at some point. He's a really lovely guy. I got really nerdy with the questions, and he got really nerdy with the answers.
That's
so he's talking
best.
about like frequencies and sounds, and how different models of the Game Boy sound different because the the metal that they used to make the chips were different and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, mate. Also blew his mind by suggesting that he ripped off the Beatles for Dr. Mario, which he had never heard before. But I got my copy of Dr. Mario signed by Tanaka.
Very nice.
And I live to tell the tale, and I've got like a crap Japanese pen and notebook to go with it as well. So that was one of the best but also most stressful interviews I've ever done. Excellent. So that answers your question, how I'm doing.
Well, I'm impressed that, because it's one of those things where the further you get away from the event, I would be like, the road between me and back to the event is going to explode. There's going to be something that messes up me getting back here. But
I was terrified I was going to mess it up. I was terrified I was going to just collapse, because I've never been so, like, it was roasting at the best of times.
Yeah.
It's certainly not running weather. And I'm like sprinting like down Kyoto going, Tanaka.
Oh, I loved it. It's just somebody working in an office seeing you, your wee white heat flying past, going into a shop, flying past again.
I also nearly got in an argument with a Japanese vendor while trying to buy eShop cards. Because obviously Donkey Kong was out while I was there, and I'm going to buy Donkey Kong, but it's much cheaper in the Japanese eShop than the Western one. It's the equivalent of like 40 quid. So I was like, I'm going to buy it on that. But the Japanese eShop doesn't let you use credit cards. You have to use gift cards. So I was in one of the kind of big toy stores and I was trying to buy that, and the guy was saying, I won't do the accent, but the guy, he was basically saying, like, in broken English, this not work. This not work in your country. This not work. I'm like, well, it's fine. It's fine. No, this not work.
I'm here, mate. I'm right here.
I'm like, it's fine. It'll work. It works. No. So I bought loads of other stuff, and he bagged it all and left it to the side. I'm like, is he going to do that at the end, or is he being weird about it? Bagged all my stuff, gave me the bag. He's like, arigato gozaimasu. I'm like, yeah, but I want to buy this. I still want to buy this. No. This won't work in your country. I'm like, so I'd start on the line. I'm like, my Switch 2 is Japanese. I live in Japan. This will work for me. And he stared at me for ages. He just went, no refund, no exchange. I'm like, that's fine. So I finally got it, took it home, card redeemed, get it up, you Japanese vendor. I managed to download my 40 quid Donkey Kong. Haven't played it yet.
40 quid. Well, this parlays into my Donkey Kong buying story, because I was waiting for payday to get it, because everyone's saying, oh, it's the best game ever. It's the best game. It is very good. I will say that's about 2 nights now where I've just finished work and played it until I went to bed. Like, it is so addictive to play. But I was like, okay, I'll buy the physical copy, because it means when one a 100% I can theoretically sell it. I was like, oh, I could trade it in. Where would you even trade in a game these days? I'm not trading it into CEX, because I don't want any of their sweaty pish. But I got the physical copy, and I'm like, okay, go down to Smith's. They've got thousands of them, and I'm like, they also had a lot of Switch 2s, which I was surprised about. But I went down to Smith's, and I was like, oh yeah, you got Donkey Kong? And I'm like, yeah. The guy gives me it, takes it over to the till. She scans it. She's like, yeah, that'll be $65.99. I was like, I know that's the way of things now, and I know that PlayStation games are £70, and it's been the way and things may get worse. But there was something about getting a physical Nintendo game, which when I was in my pomp of buying physical Nintendo games, it was Game Boy, DS, Wii, when they were the cheaper option. The fact that I'm getting away 6.5 tenors for this Donkey Kong game, I was like, oh, that's better. Blow my mind. It doesn't help the fact that the Switch 2 cases are absolutely minuscule. Like, I know.
It really doesn't feel like a £65 product.
It's like no manual, no map of anything. There's a nice reversible cover. The bit of the wee bit of art with DK and Pauline on the other side's nice, but I took it home and I was like, oh, I'm in an iron about it, and it honestly took about 10 minutes. I was like, okay, that's it. This is worth it. It's a proper game. That's
good. I've still not started it yet, but I'm going to have to rinse it over the weekend, because all I'm seeing online is people saying, yes, this ending's great. This end's great. I've still managed to avoid it. I'm like, there's going to be a matter of time before this gets spoiled, so I need to rinse it before that happens.
The thing for me is I was playing it in front of Laura, and she was like, I couldn't play this because obviously the entire levels are destructible and there's stuff in the destructible parts, and she was like, I would have to raise these entire levels to the ground before I moved forward, and that would take hours and hours because there's so much of it. But it's so satisfying to play, especially when you get the kind of the bonanza powers and clearing stuff out is a bit easier. It's very easy. It's not like, I think I would. The thing I liked about Odyssey was there was a kind of sliding scale of really easy moons to get and then pretty hard ones to get.
Yeah.
Everything in this is like super, super easy. I don't know if I've died once, but I'm not super massively bothered about that. Soundtrack's really good, actually. Unless, I mean, I'm like 6 layers deep and I've got like 3 of the powers or whatever. Unless it really drops off, I'm struggling to see kind of what Andy thought in his review applied to when I'm actually playing it. But also, I feel like I come to Nintendo stuff with a totally different mindset because I so rarely review their stuff. This is just like a toy to me. Like, to quote the late great Hulk Hogan, this is like a toy. It's like an ornament on the Christmas tree. Whereas I feel like if it was like a PS5 or an Xbox game, I would feel differently about it. But Donkey Kong, DK Donkey Kong.
I'm looking forward to finding it. That was going to be my playing game on the way home, and then last minute I got WWE 2K25 on Switch, and we'll come to that. But yeah,
Chris, since you're back,
yes.
I have energy drinks, and these are energy drinks I didn't even plan to bring to this podcast until I had to jump out to get petrol earlier and saw them. I have 3 energy drinks from Snowman.
Big Snowman. Braun Snowman.
Apple Dose, Snowman Bubble Gum, and Snowman Grape Boost. Now, when I bought these off a very nice gentleman at the petrol station, he proudly announced to me that this company, Snowman, does matching tobacco pouches that you put kind of in your lip, like a snus, as it were. And he said, it was like, it's all the same company. We got them as a trial. And I was like, okay, well, I'm obviously going to have to try these now. I love a grape energy drink.
Famously. The logo looks very supreme.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's like...
it's got tobacco in it.
Do you remember the brain lickers? Those sweets? They were like a kind of plastic tube full of acid. It's kind of like that. There's nary a fruit has seen hide nor hail of this this can.
No grapes were harmed.
No grapes were even thought of. It's very intense.
It doesn't bode well for the other two, I'm not going to lie to you.
This one is
especially
Apple
the
Dose.
Apple one.
Yeah.
Apple's going to be even more sour, surely.
I fully assume this is going to send my head to Mars, but... That's terrible. That's really bad. Oh... That is like, you got an appetizer, you waited until it was flat, then you put it through a soda stream. Like, there is very little to enjoy about that. And I hate bubblegum flavoured things, so the last one being...
But although, having said that, the other two seemingly didn't taste like apple or grapes,
true.
So you might be alright.
This might be on to a winner. From the smell of it, it's not on to a winner. Oh, well, you know how...
That was like that gif of the woman going...
Yeah. So you're in a pick and mix establishment, these famous pick and mix establishments, and you see the cola bottles that are red and blue, red on top, blue on bottom. Yeah. That is the exact flavour profile. That drink is like drinking one of those. Extremely sour, undrinkable. I can see how people have monsters through their daily lives, because a white monster is inoffensive. You just have one of them, you're whatever. If you were sitting drinking one of these, first of all, anyone would look at you and go, why is that boy downing a can of Snowman at 12:30 in the afternoon? But also, the smell, despite the fact that it's fat-free, low-calorie, gluten-free with vitamins, it is truly horrific. Yeah, I won't be revisiting this new drink from the Tridots company. Chris, do you know when it's made? Where do you think it's made?
The Tridots company.
I'll tell you that a famous painter comes from there.
Is it Dutch?
Nope. It's Austrian, big boy. It is an Austrian energy drink. I mean, I really don't get how this random wee petrol station in Foxbar ended up with such incredible content from the Tridots company. But
while I was in Japan, I recorded an energy drink review, which is currently on the VGC Discord, and will also be going on the Patreon as part of my vlog of Japan. I acquired a can of Godzilla 4.
Nice.
Energy drink. I believe I tried Godzilla 3 in the past, which was a kind of lemony flavour one, and Godzilla 4 tasted a lot like the initial hit is of Ribena, like fizzy Ribena.
Oh, okay.
And then very quickly changes to the normal Red Bull taste you get from a lot of energy drinks. So inoffensive again. I wouldn't kick it out of bed if I saw it again. Ribena 4.
Oh,
Ribena 4, Godzilla 4.
Ribena 4.
Son of Ribena. Yeah. Ribena versus Mothra.
Yeah. The Tridots is really going through me at the minute. I'm going to keep working on the grape one because it's still grape. It's still grape flavored things. But what's the Japan? Every time one of you two go, and there's like not that much of an energy drink scene out there. It surprises me because you think Japan would be on the forefront of these things, but maybe
it's weird because they have them, but you have to look for them. Like you go into a 7-Eleven or a Family Mart or a Lawson. The only 3 shops that apparently exist in Japan. And in the fridge they'll always have the yellow Monster Ripper. They'll always have Ripper, and they'll always have the pink one, Pipeline Punch. They always have those two, and sometimes the standard Monster, and that's it. And they'll have a bunch of the kind of zero sugar ones, but I don't mess with
You
them.
don't partake.
But then it's really look at the vending machines to look for the rest of them, and the vending machines are so random every time. So on occasion you'll find like the wee Pepsi shots or the Monster shot one or something like Godzilla. I only saw Godzilla 4 once in my 3 weeks there.
What about the Coke that makes you shit yourself?
Tried that, did nothing.
Had
no impact. That was disappointing.
Yeah.
So I did it for science, and science failed. So
if we're ever in Japan together, I think we should in a Jackass style bit of tomfoolery eat like 10 loaves of bread and then drink 10 of those Cokes and see which one of us fucking gets hospitalised first. But
that sounds reasonable. I'm up for that.
Just about 22 minutes into this podcast, I'd like to thank our Patreon season ticket members, including the brand new one, Matthew Tate, no relation, Justin Keeling, Vicious, Tanner, Santos, Serkin Toto, Shea Diggle, Matt Huggins, Marcus Prime, Ryan Cobain, Sandbags, Hugh Everend, Ginger Jotun, Mark Edmonds, and James Hughes. It is the 1 year anniversary of us launching on Patreon. We are doing some anniversary content and also giving you the opportunity to get the first ever piece of VGC merchandise. You can check more about that at patreon.com/video games chronicle.
Can I also give a brief shout out to one of our season ticket holders, the bold Shea Dougal, who runs a lovely video game store in the US of States.
I'm pretty sure it's in Canada, you racist.
I thought it was Wisconsin.
Oh, it might be. One of them's Canadian. Oh, Cron's Canadian. I think.
Regardless, a while back I sent him a signed copy of Carol Vorderman's book, signed by me, obviously, because they've become, Carol Vorderman's become something of a fan. Something of a fan. She's
in the Discord all the time.
She loves it. She loves his shop. Like they have so many copies of Carol Vorderman's Sudoku in their shop on PSP, I believe, that they've kind of slightly idolised her. So I've sent him Carol Vorderman's book. He has now replied by sending me and you and Andy's dog. It says here, gift certificates. I'm going to hide the barcode in case I've got a $20 gift certificate for Quick Save Games.
Oh,
for me, it's Friday. I've got a $10 one because you didn't send them in for you.
Well,
for Jordan Midler.
That's what 7.5% of a PS5 Pro.
And a $10 one for Andy's dog. Nice. It specifically says. So if we're ever around his neck of the woods, his shop I'll be trading that in for an NES Max controller, I think. Quick
Save Games, Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Is that where we think it might be?
I believe that's the one.
Right. Well, let's see if there's 195 Google reviews. Show me the logo.
By all accounts, here we go. The logo looks like the power button of a video game. I believe if you turn it upside down, it looks like a power button on a console. It's very clever.
This is the very same.
By all accounts, it's a very good shop. It sounds like his pricing is fair compared to others in the area. So
I'm finding an unfortunately high amount of 5-star reviews here.
It's disappointing.
It's just fact because you assume that the only people that review things either give it 5 or 1. So I'm looking for him for a review saying, "Oh, I got this copy of Grabbed by the Ghoulies and I opened it and it had a massive shite in it," and that's not.
You're hoping for reviews to say something like the store. The vendor Shay spat in my child's face. You're hoping for stuff like that, like nice anecdotes, but nothing.
The vendor roundhouse kicked my gran. She's not been the same since. Honestly, I'm now Quick Save Games is getting a lot of free promo on this episode, but I don't really care. I'm now on Google Maps. I'm standing outside Quick Save Games on Google Maps, and
this is a strip mall.
This is a thought that Limmy's had, and I totally agree. Everywhere in America, it just looks like the back of buildings. Like it's just a desolate wasteland that this place is in.
I've not looked at it yet, but I already know what it's going to look like. Is it standing in a strip mall? Because I've been to a few. Yep. I've been to a few in Toronto that look like that, where they're just it looks exactly like some of the ones I've been in Ontario.
It's across for a Taco Bell, which is pretty good.
Well, that's,
there's somebody sitting in their car, outside of this games establishment. Do we think it's them?
It's next to a Goodwill as well. They must be competing with that Goodwill for games.
Yeah, Goodwill's the guy that sells games. He's an absolute skinflint though. Always rips me off.
I always prefer Goodwill to Bad Jake.
Yeah. So if you ever find yourself in Fitchburg when you're heading down 6275 McKee Road,
mate, I'm never off it.
That's actually the address of the Taco Bell. Let me get quick. If you ever find yourself down 6291 McKee Road, Suite C, Fitchburg, Wisconsin, pop into Quick Save Games. Tell them Chris and Jordan sent you.
Don't forget to tell them VGC sent you.
What a random place this is. Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Who lives in Fitchburg, bloody Wisconsin?
Fitchburg is not even Shay lives in it. I won't give it away, but his address is on the envelope. But
he lives in
Fitchburg. Yeah, he lives in Glasgow, Scotland.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you very much, Shay. I promise I will endeavour at some point to make my way to Wisconsin and make use of these gift certificates somehow. One day we'll make a vlog out of it.
Yeah,
a road trip. We'll go to America, and me and Jordan will go to America and go on a road trip to try and find Shay's shop.
See, to be fair, it's not far for Chicago at all. How far is O'Hare Airport from Quick Save Games?
I was also looking at it. I might be going to what do you call it, Michigan later in the year to attend a wedding, and I was looking at it there, and it turns out there's a big, massive river in the way. So it's actually something like a 5-hour drive or something like that, which is a shame.
It's only 2 hours for Chicago O'Hare International Airport. So I mean, the thing is, driving in America is literally basically a straight line because the country was designed and founded by absolute clowns. But
see, it takes me 5 hours to drive from Michigan to there.
That involves going underwater.
Including a ferry. I need to go right through Lake Michigan in order to do it. Otherwise, but hey,
the things we do for our patrons, and that's why you should sign up to patreon.com/videogamescornerco if you want to share the address of where you work and you'd like us to do a Google Maps deep dive on it, then please do so. Just before. Story number one, Sony said claiming
only half an hour in.
Claiming its latest mushroom game is a slavish clone of the Horizon series. Reported by Reuters, Sony's filed the suit in California federal court alleging copyright and trademark infringement. This follows the news that Tencent pitched Sony to work on a Horizon game, and they said no. We won't get into the details of this, but this is a game that we already did a story in because it looks ridiculously close to Horizon, Chris.
It's comical. It's one of those ones where I'm happy that we still do objective coverage of our news, because a lot of other sites basically just went in the headlines with "This is a rip-off. I can't believe this got made," etc., etc.
They must have good lawyers.
And those headlines are now being cited in the lawsuit. So the lawsuit literally points to the other sites saying, "Look, this site called it a rip-off." And so sadly, VGC not cited because of our objective coverage. But yeah, I mean, come on, it's anyone. If you just look at the story on the site, you just take one look at it and go, "That's Horizon." Like, come on, there's no two ways about it. Especially cheeky if Sony's right and that Tencent went to them and says, "Do you want to make a Horizon game?" And having already started it,
yeah.
And Sony was like, "No," and then they went, "Let's just do it."
Tencent's like, "It's all right. We'll get them around the table. We'll convince them." And Sony's like, "No, we've actually made too many of these Horizon games. We don't need another one, thanks."
Change the logo, boys.
The game is being developed by Polaris Quest, which is a subsidiary of Tencent. It's described as an open-world adventure set in a land where human civilization has ceased to exist. The world is inhabited by, stop me if you've heard this one, mechanimal animals known as mechanimals, including a large gorilla, deer, and bull. I'm looking forward to playing this one when it never releases. The thing is, like, I don't think the Horizon aesthetic is so amazing and unique and incredible that you would need to rip it off as if that's like the key thing to making that game. Like, robot dinosaurs existed before Horizon. You didn't need to make it so Horizon-y, no? You could have made it, what's the name of that robot transformer? Because he was pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I had one of them. Dinobots, is that what they were called?
Dinobots was that was a separate show, wasn't it? It's a weird one. I mean, like,
who's rattling the cage for a Horizon ripoff?
That's the thing with the greatest spell in the world. Horizon isn't like a multi-billion-dollar franchise anyway. Like, I can see them ripping off Last of Us or something like that, but no one, like, people moan about Horizon as it is. All the far right and such. We don't need
you hearing that, listeners? If you don't like the Horizon franchise, you are far right.
If you've played that game, and at the end of the game, as the credits roll, you go, "Oh, that was okay. You're a racist."
That's what I'm hearing.
There's no two ways about it. But yeah, it's just of all the games to ape or to mechanical ape.
Yeah, thank you. Right, we'll see you later, folks. Patreon.com.
Thanks very much. That's how I bought at the Nintendo Museum. I bought one of the big controllers.
Oh, did you? How did you get it back? On the plane, see you later.
By buying another suitcase. I was there. I thought I would go buy a Wii remote because that was the Wii was the first console I covered in great detail. And then when I got there and I saw them all lying there, I says, "That's mental," because as a cushion, the Wii remote doesn't work very well because it's just a big rectangle. That's not comfortable in any way. Unless you're cradling it.
That's what I was going to say. Can I interject? As someone who likes to put a pillow between my knees while I sleep, I think a Wii remote would be the perfect size for that. I prefer my pillows to be headrests rather than substitute partners, which is why I went for the Super Famicom controller. Oh, here we go.
See?
Chris is actually a very tiny man.
Because it provides ample headrest for when lying down.
So are you going to use it functionally? It's not just going to be decoration?
Well, it's too big to just put on a bloody wall or something. I'm going to have to put it on a couch and actually lie on it.
When Serena gets a bit older and gets into wrestling, that thing's getting leathered. It's wrestling
it's going to become a tag partner.
Yeah.
But no, so that's what I went for. They could do... You're allowed to do 2 per visitor. So theoretically we could have bought 6. But I was like, "Nah, you're all right. We'll just stick with the Super."
Was Serena in it?
She was. I was going to talk. I think me and Andy are going to record something at some point when they get back, because I think he was saying he's going with his family for the first time, like on his trip now. We're going to maybe chat about it when he gets back. I'm not sure if there's anyone in the world that will 100% get everything out of that place.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be trying to cater to a wide range of different people. So I only enjoyed like half of it, and I imagine most people only enjoy half of it. Because the big room full of all the games, I'm like, I've seen these.
I've got these.
So it's like the whole top floor is just like, here's the NES, here's all the NES games. And like, thanks very much.
Yeah.
Here's and like that.
Was Shigsy up in his bell tower still? Was he still up there?
He was. Him and Hip Tanaka were up there going, like it. But then there's a wee corner bit where I was like, my mind was blown. And Louise was looking. My wife Louise was like looking at all the kind of the that display and going, "Oh, I remember that." And so for nostalgia for her, she loved that bit. But for me, who sees this box art on like a near daily basis and who's literally written books on it, I'm like, right, okay. But she was like, "Oh, I remember Yoshi's eggs and all that shit."
Developed by Game Freak.
What game? What company? But in the corner they had like this big kind of plexiglass room full of all the rare shit, like super rare shit, and it's like prototype Game Boys, and like when it was like a landscape design before the Game Boy went portrait and all that, and like a Sky Skipper arcade machine and all the really kind of nerdy stuff. I stood there.
Is this the stuff that they added afterwards, like in a random corner, or is this?
I think so. I think so, but only like a week or two after they added that stuff, I think, and they're adding like an art gallery in September, which is no use to me, obviously. So hopefully there's famously, if I was there, I would have set it ablaze. But no, so I've kind of missed out on seeing all the concept art and stuff. But I liked it. I had a fun day, but yeah, your mileage will vary.
We want access to the archive. We want to go to like the WWE archive equivalent of Nintendo, where it's just rows and rows and rows of like research quality materials. We don't want something that's like part kind of attraction.
All that stuff that leaked like a few years ago, like the weird kind of Yoshi's Island demo thing that's got like a wee guy on it instead. We want all that stuff. I want to play the Mario Kart before it had Mario in it and it was just wee guys in overalls. That's stuff I want to see. Instead, it was like the downstairs had all these kind of weird mini games you could play with your ticket, and you had a set number of coins that you had to pay. And one of them was just like, here's a bunch of like demo units and you can play NES and Super Nintendo games. I'm like, mate, I've got them on my Switch in the hotel room. Like, who's this for? Like, this is shite. But then bits of it, like using the baseball machine stuff, was a great fun, and the light gun game they've got there is brilliant. So it's a mixed bag. Like, I really loved some stuff, and some stuff was just like did nothing for me at all. I'm glad I went. If only to fill my wardrobe with branded T-shirts. But other than that, it was like, yeah, I've done it now. I wouldn't go back.
Did you know that Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan was actually based on a different game?
Was this the old Doki Doki Panic, I believe they called it?
It was actually based on a Popeye game before they lost the license. Donkey Kong was going to be Bluto.
Is that right?
And Pauline was going to be olive oil.
And then later on, they then acquired the Popeye license, and Miyamoto, adopting a Scottish accent, says, "Right, lads, Popeye the new."
Well, I'm glad we gave that Horizon story the serious once over that it deserved.
See you in court, boys.
Don't cite this podcast, although if you want us to come to court and recite this word for word, we can do it. People don't know we're reading off a script. They think this witty reportage is all off the dome piece.
Nobody's quick enough to come up with gold like this.
Yeah.
We have to read a script.
Yeah. Okay, when we come back, we'll try and hit on a second story, and we have a mountain of reader questions. And this fun, I was about to say fun-sized, but a fun-sized is typically the smaller version.
Yeah, this is going.
I'm doing a lot of Trump hands this week, and I don't know why. It's
because he's in Scotland just now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just up the road.
The VGC Podcast, one of my favorites.
We love video game. We love Wisconsin. We love quick save games.
If you love the Taco Bell across from Quick Save Games, then make sure to go in there and tell them that. I'd love to. So I'm going to America on Monday, and I'm not going to go to Taco Bell because I'll be in bloody New York City. So I'm not going to sully myself with a Taco Bell. But I had a realization, because obviously Taco Bell and Popeyes and like Jollibee and all that stuff is now in Glasgow. What are the last remaining American fast food brands that we need over here? And there's one that sticks out like a sore thumb. Buffalo Wild Wings, the very best.
I had a Popeyes yesterday for the first time.
Yeah.
Popeye the new.
How was it?
It's fine. It's just normal fried chicken.
What are you a KFC man? Like, KFC is very rarely high on my list.
I'll have it, but then I'll feel ill after it.
Yeah,
and this is similar with Popeye.
Oh, if I'm having a KFC for my lunch, I'm going to sleep. Like, I'd never have a KFC on a working day because I'd be straight to my bed.
It didn't help that I had Popeyes for lunch, and then without naming the game, then immediately played a preview build of something. Via a streaming service, which had some input lag and a lot of mouse movement, which made me violently motion sick. But we'll take a break and we'll discuss it later.
We're going to commercials now. I've just been told in my ear that we're going to take a break. When we come back, chat about a Nintendo Switch 2 game that makes a solid return to the ring, and after that, your questions. Patreon.com/VideoGamesChronicle. See you in a minute. And we are back. Chris, you referenced this earlier. Your playing game was WWE 2K25 on the Nintendo Switch 2. How is it?
I was worried before I started playing this because for people who don't know the history, the old World Wrestling Entertainment 2K18 on the Switch was a pile of old arse. And they decided right after it, let's just not do it again. Because the Switch version was like slow as hell on just one-on-one matches, let alone like multiple characters. It was buggy as hell. It kept crashing. It was just an absolute disaster.
This is the one that was actually okay on other platforms, though.
Yeah, it was fine.
2K18 was fine on other platforms.
Yeah. But then the Metacritic for Switch was like 35. Everyone was just like, this is a disgrace that they actually released it like this. People like next year they're going to have to like really, really improve this to make it worthwhile. And next year they just did nothing whatsoever. They just went, we're not doing it. And they just didn't make another Switch one again for the duration of the Switch. So it's been 7 or 8 years since Nintendo's actually had a WWE game. So when they announced, we're bringing WWE 2K
7 or 8
Switch
years,
to, I know.
What do you mean?
I know. So when they then said, okay, we're bringing 2K25 to Switch 2, I'm like, you sure, boys?
Yeah.
You want to just sit this year out? And so I got it just before I went on the plane and tried it. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's 60 frames a second almost all the time.
Feature complete, apart from the one that we'll talk about in a minute.
100% feature complete. And technically, that one we're talking about is there as well. It's just not the one people want.
Yeah.
The island is there. So the island is the kind of next gen, or current gen, I suppose, mode. So it's only in the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions. And now it's in the Switch 2 version, which means they've based it on the current gen. Instead of, you would expect them to go, let's just base it on the PS4 version.
Yeah.
And that'd be fine. But no, they've based it on the PS5 version. And you can kind of tell that during the entrances, like when your characters, the feature image on our review is a CM Punk coming out. And when you look at it, you're like, that's a high quality, like, character.
That's a good model.
What are we honey a model? They've done a really good job with it. But, so I'm really impressed with it. The only times it drops is when it cuts to, sometimes when the camera cuts to a close up to kind of give it that TV feel. And when it does that, it drops to 30 frames a second. And that's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But occasionally, if you're the sort of person who plays with one of the pin mini games is to flick the right stick up when it goes past the bar, that bar's now going at 30 frames a second. And when it's going really fast, when you're about to get knocked out, it's really hard. It makes it really hard to kind of flick it at the right time. So that's annoying. You just swap it out for the button bashing one and you're fine. But other than that, even like an 8-man or woman, if you want to get woke about it, match, intergender even, runs at full 60, no problem, without skipping a beat. It just runs really well, looks really good. All modes are in it. The island, I've grown to like the island over time. They've added new chapters and it's just really silly now in the best way. Like, you can unlock Paul Bearer's ghost.
Yeah, when you told me about that, I was like, maybe that's something that I'd be interested in getting back to here.
No, because when the game launched, the island was quite basic. There wasn't a lot of stuff in it, and there was loads of shops around, like a night shop and all that. I'm like, this isn't good. But it turns out you don't actually need to bother with them. Like, you can play the island pretty easily without ever spending any money on any microtransactions. There's loads of kind of weird character unlocks that are you just unlock through normal play. Like, you can unlock Lily, like Alexa Bliss's doll, like a big giant life-size version of that. And
I hate the fact that all that shite clogs up the roster list on the default version, though, because when the new DLC came out with Penta and New Jack and fucking KSI, I was like, okay, I'll download that. I'd missed a pack that had the Motor City machine guns and stuff, so downloaded all that, and you're scrolling for hours, and so much of it is not only blanked out, but they also put the characters that are like island exclusive, story mode exclusive, like, I wish you could just do like a remove all that shite.
The My Faction stuff annoys me the most, because at least the island stuff and the My Rise stuff, which is like the career mode, at least when you try and choose them, it tells you can unlock this person through the island, unlock this person through My Rise. And the island's like a 10-hour mode, and it's like, fine, okay. I get, part of me likes that you can still unlock things through normal gameplay in these games. So I'm fine with that. It's the Persona stuff in My Faction, which for people who don't know, My Faction is the game's kind of ultimate team mode, where you build your own roster of wrestlers by opening packs of cards. And every now and then they'll do these Persona cards, which is basically a different outfit for that wrestler. So it might be CM Punk with long hair, or it might be like the 2003 version of somebody, the Triple H or something like that.
Midian.
Listen, don't get me started. Mabel. Like so people that you weren't, that aren't in the normal, or who are in the normal roster but a different version. There's loads of action figure versions of people and stuff like that. But the problem is those personas, a lot of them are kind of limited time deals.
Yep.
Or a lot of them have comically difficult unlocking processes that require you to have specific cards to do the challenge, and those cards maybe cost an absolute fortune in packs. So you need to go spend 60 quid on packs to unlock that. So a lot of the personas that are there, you're probably only getting a few of them. You're not going to get them all at any time. But when you unlock a persona, it unlocks across the entire game, which means if you're just having a normal match and you're scrolling through the roster, at the time of recording this, there are 51 personas in My Faction, which means there are 51 blanked out names in that character roster that you will never get if you don't play that mode, and you have to skim through them all. You can't filter them out. You have to scroll through all these. So when you get to, especially when you get to someone like CM Punk, he's got like 7 persona cards.
Yeah.
So you get to CM Punk and then have to scroll down like 7 times before you get to the next wrestler. It's shite. So that's something they need to sort out, because it's ruining every mode in the game, not just My Faction.
When I started a GM mode the other night, and you make your own, you can set which roster will be used. So I was like, okay, I want a realistic roster of current stars. So you go in and by default you can have Andre the Giant on a 5-week contract, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to turn up for work. So I went through and
famously lazy.
Yeah, fat bastard. I went through and I made all of those inactive, but you also have to make CM Punk 2010 and Kurt Angle 01 and all this stuff. It's fuck. There's a cleaner way to do this. They should all just be drop downs from the original character, but then the whole point is that you see them in your roster and you go, oh, I want that. I'll go and play the stupid mod.
It's very much the Mario Kart World character select screen of wrestling games.
Mind Mario Kart World? Anyone still talking about that?
That was good.
That was all right.
Oh, listen, they patched it the day. At the time, when's this going up? Friday?
Friday.
Or was it? Well, they patched it 2 days ago.
There's no secrets of when we're recording this.
They patched it. I say we're giving up secrets. For all we know, there's a Nintendo Direct on Thursday, and we're recording this on Wednesday, and now we're mentioning it. But Nintendo patched Mario Kart World and made it easier. Made the CPU racers easier. Also, I just realised nobody says CPU anymore, even though I put it in the headline.
I don't
know at which point people stopped saying CPU and started saying AI.
I was just to say that you were playing against the computer.
Computer.
Yeah. But no.
They didn't. Anyway, that's an old
back in my day. Speaking of back in the day, Lego Game Boy's out in October. It's 60 quid for 421 pieces, which is a joke, which makes it one of the most expensive per part Lego sets ever. I'm still going to get it. Includes 2 cartridges, Legends of Zelda Link's Awakening and Super Mario Land. Do you think those are the 2 you would pick? Personally, I think it is missing the most important Game Boy, 2 of the most important Game Boy games, but being Tetris and Pokemon. I'm guessing
Tetris and Pokemon, yeah. I'm assuming that's just a money thing, because surely the Tetris company, whatever they're called, would want a piece of that.
Yeah,
I would imagine putting Pokemon in it would lead to Pokemon issues. Even though Pokemon and Lego have something coming up,
they're doing their own thing. I assume they just don't. I think they want the first Pokemon Lego thing to be their new thing, rather than. Although this would have been a nice tease, a nice little lead-in. But yeah, I understand. Maybe if they do a color, because those games are quite associated with the Game Boy Color, because they were late in life of the console. But.
Yeah, but of the ones they could have picked, those are fine. I would rather it was Link's Awakening and Super Mario Land as opposed to, for example, Balloon Kid and Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle.
Yeah,
I don't think that would go down too well. So I'm up for it. Like you say, the price is comical, but it always is. You look at stuff like the Deku Tree, which is something like 20 grand roughly, or 270 or something like that. They know how to rinse us, and they succeed every time. So
It's weird because licensed Lego has always had a premium. Like the Star Wars stuff is expensive per piece, and the Lord of the Rings stuff is, but the Nintendo stuff is just significantly more. And I don't really know what the breakdown of that is, but it looks cool. It'll look nice next to the NES, and I assume
that's why I appreciate the Mega Bloks Pokemon, because they're actually reasonably priced.
Yeah,
for what you get. You don't get a lot of blocks. Like, for example, my wee Squirtle here, a wee Mega Block Squirtle wasn't that much. It was maybe 20 quid or something.
Do you know what Squirtle in German is?
Squirtle?
Shaggy.
Really?
Shaggy. I have a
Shigsy.
I have a Squirtle plush sitting over there somewhere, and because they sell them on the Pokemon Center in multiple European territories, it has all the different names. I wonder, do I have any with tags on here? That's a Pokemon. That's tags in Japanese. Chris, who's this?
That is starts with an L.
Starts with an L.
That is Lugia.
Lugia? Correct.
Boom! The legend. Oh, here we go.
Lugia goes with.
That's Ho-Oh.
For
that was gold silver, wasn't it? That was back in heart gold, soul silver, I should say.
It was heart gold and soul silver. This is one of the tags that has the multiple names, I think, but unfortunately, Ho in every territory is Ho-Oh. So
Ho-Oh's a shite name because you can't pronounce it properly.
Yeah,
it's like Ho-Oh.
Ho, the Christmas Pokemon. We are going to now do your reader questiones. We have a lot of them. Chris, are you ready?
I'm pumped.
Well, prepared to get even more pumped. Now, unfortunately, why is Discord doing this stupid thing? Oh no, here we go. Discord loves to hide people's names when you even suggest that you're going to be using a camera. Like, oh, protect the privacy. It's a fucking public anyway. Let's go for all these questions are fucking shit. No, I'm kidding on. Ersat says, are there any discussions among the VGC staff over review content and review scores, or is it up to the purview of the reviewer? It's collaborative in the sense that everyone will read everyone's reviews and say, oh, this reads like an X, this reads like a Y, but very rarely do we go, that should go up one or come down one.
Yeah, I could probably count in one hand the time we've argued about a review score for something that's generally not really an issue.
It's usually mainly just a case of changing the text to make it reflect more.
Mainly because it's rare that more than one of us is playing the same game. So you just kind of have to take the person's word for it that it is as good or as bad as they say it is, because we've not played it. So it would be the ultimate hypocrisy to say, you sure that's a good score? It looks shite. Well, we've never played it. It's literally what people do to us every single day when we write reviews. So it'd be a bit hypocritical of us to do the same.
Yeah, that is true. This is an interesting one from Viva La Ha Z. It says, with Patreon being 1 year old, the website in general, not just our Patreon, all of Patreon is 1 year old. I want to know what, other than the need for money, was the catalyst for going down that route. Whose idea was that? I seem to remember Jordan coming on board and it started. So was it JGM's young blood dragging the old boys into the modern day? That's his words, not mine. Or was it Jordan targeted by the boss man because he wanted to get this started and wanted fresh hands on it? Or am I wrong? And it was all a scullion masterpiece. My hiring was not for Patreon or anything like that. It was to do other things, and then as it kind of, you can chart it by like the podcast, that gaining popularity, it being more personality focused, and then kind of moving on to the Patreon from there. But it's something we talked about for a while. It's not the kind of thing you undertake on a whim, though, because there's nothing more embarrassing than chucking up a Patreon and it failing completely.
It's something I wanted us to do for a while, because it's you could see how the landscape was going. Like we're starting to see more and more the results of that as Google messes around with its algorithms for a laugh every 20 minutes. Sites are struggling more and more. So I'd always wanted us to do that, because I thought the money would be needed at some point, which it turns out it is. But like I'd done a Patreon myself for my own site like a long time ago, and it helped me out when I was kind of struggling a bit. So I knew it would be a good thing to do. But like you say, the issue we had at the start was that it didn't really it clashed with what VGC was at the time, which was like our sole brand was straight news. And it's only as the podcast has brought our personalities out more, and it still allows us to kind of be a bit more personality driven without messing with the main site and keeping that straight news going. The Patreon and the podcast now let us kind of let our hair down, or what little hair we have, let that down metaphorically, and kind of do the personality side of things. So it's good. I'm glad we did it, not only because it keeps us in a job, but it makes things more entertaining as well. It's nice to have that wee community.
Yeah, I did a Patreon for Overload, which is a site that me and a couple of my pals did, with the idea of like getting new writers into the game, which funnily enough, basically everyone who ever wrote for that now ended up doing stuff, like they're at fucking IGN and all over the place. So that was like a little...
Charlie Brooker wrote for everyone.
Yeah, he did. He actually he designed the Overload logo and get paid $1,000 for it. Patreon, and obviously this all comes back to the people that really kicked this off was kind of funny, and I feel like since they did that, everyone's been so envious of the way they knocked that together. So yeah, we could see the way the wind was blowing. And I like where it's got us to, so long may it continue long after the three of us are long gone. Do you think there'll ever be a VGC where one of the three of us isn't?
Death happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
death is coming.
I could do a Hogan and my heart could explode tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll
I'm your Jimmy Hart going, he was fine, baby. He was great. He looked fantastic.
Like 20, 30 years from now on VGC Legends House, you'll have a breakdown. That's a niche reference. WWE Legends House is gone now because the network's gone. People need to track that show down because it's incredible.
Get it pirated.
Get the old. Get on your N-Gage and get a hold of WWE Legends House. What a show.
Exactly.
It's got a fun wee Jimmy Hart breakdown.
Oh, Jimmy Hart. Taneri Harp asks, what does his family get up to while he was at BitSummit? Good question. Were they just standing outside watching you sprint down the street?
Stood there sweating in the heat. No, while I was in BitSummit, the first day they went to the Kyoto Aquarium, which by all accounts is very good. Lots of fish in it, I believe.
Lots of Japanese fish.
A cheeky wee penguin show, which apparently took place outdoors, so they only saw the penguin doing one jump, then they went F this and went back inside into the air conditioning. The second day they were looking at it going to like a park, like a play park, and I thought that's where they were going until I was at BitSummit and got a message from the missus of Serena at the aquarium again. It turned out they just went back because she was so desperate to go back and see the dolphins again. They went back to the aquarium for a second day, and the third day they just kind of did a bit of shopping and then I met up with them. But
to be fair, if they went to a play park, your child would have been trapped under melted metal.
Exactly, she would have turned into like a jelly. But it was good. Like they enjoyed it. They generally, I think Louise enjoyed Osaka the best because it had a kind of a vibrant nightlife. Although I get dragged up a big bloody Ferris wheel type thing, which was terrifying. The big Don Quixote shop in Osaka has a Ferris wheel attached to it. And it's it's not like a circular one. It goes all the way up the building and over the top of it and back down again. And it's terrifying because it doesn't feel like it should be there. And it rocks when you get to the top of the building and you start going over the apex, I believe they call it. It keeps rotating every now and then to keep you upright, and you can hear it going.
Did you keep your cool?
I did not.
Were you going?
I was going, Hip Tanaka! You did this. No, I kept my cool for. I kept face for because the child was sitting next to me. But like she was loving it. She was like running, like, bouncing about. I'm like, stop bouncing, and she could tell that I wasn't.
Sat down. No, right.
Sit your arse in the fucking seat. But she was like grabbing my arm like as if to, and I thought I was because she was scared. And then I quickly realised it's because she realised I was scared. And it was to comfort me. I'm like, when we got off it, I was just like, let's just not talk about that again.
You should have taken one of Andy's notorious red sweeties onto it and just slept through it.
Probably. But no, a good time was had by all. But a warm time was had by all.
I'm going on my first transatlantic flight since SGF on Monday, and it's first of all, it's not with BA for the first time in a long time, just because of the timing. It's with Aer Lingus up there, etc. You ever been to Dublin Airport?
I haven't, no.
So
I'm
flying to Dublin from Glasgow, and I was like, oh, I've got like 2 hours to connect, and I was like, oh, is that enough time? Like, I'm used to Heathrow, which is like massive, and they're like, Dublin Airport's the size of like someone's house. Like, it's tiny. Like, you don't have to worry about it at all. So, but you can clear customs in Ireland, which is cool. So you just land in America having already cleared customs, and then you just toodle on down the road.
That's good. Thanks, Aer Lingus.
Yeah, for sponsoring this episode. I think on Monday I can say on Monday why I'm going where I'm going, but it's New York City. I'm going to get some pizza.
Slice of za.
I'm staying very close to John's of Times Square, which is an incredible pizza place that they do the whole pie. They give you a whole pie they're huge. So the idea is you order like 2 between 3 people, and every time I've gone there, I've just thought, if I lived in New York, I'd be here every day. I would be 99 stone, and I'd be here every single day.
I feared for my life in New York once when I went on a press trip with Sega to play the Iron Man game.
It was 2001, no?
It was two. I remember it well. I was very high up. It was 2008, I believe, 2007, 2008. And when we got there, we decided to have a night out and have pizza at what is known as the Meatpacking District, which it turns out is where all the mafia is, all the mobsters. And we're sitting in like around the big table, and because we are ignorant tourists, we're all doing like fake New York accents.
Good.
And a variety of them, not just a generic. But we basically each slipped into our own gangster persona. So it's like, oh, this is a great slice of pizza, boys. Yeah, that's right, boss. And all that kind of, we were doing it for a long time. And as we were leaving, there's like people who looked straight out The Sopranos, just glared at us as we were walking out. I'm like, we're going to fucking die here. We're going to step out here, and a horse's head is going to be like in every room of the hotel. Thankfully, we stayed alive, and Iron Man turned out to be a load of old shit. But it was a fun trip, regardless.
Was that not the one that you got to like go to Marvel and stuff?
At Marvel headquarters we went to. Got a tour by Joe Quesada, which was a big deal at the time. And it was really good. It was like, but it was awkward because they had to, the Sega rep had to show off the Iron Man game to them. And you could tell they weren't massively impressed by it. As neither was I when the review code turned up, and we promptly gave it 9%.
9%? How does a game even get 9%?
It's awful. But that's always the example I cite. I might have cited it on this podcast a couple of times of how we're supposed to do our jobs. It's like you use one thing, getting press trips and stuff like that, visit Marvel headquarters, go to New York, have all this for free. But when it comes to the crunch and you actually get the game, that can't colour
when the rubber hits the road.
Exactly. When it comes down to the nuts and bolts of it, you gotta give the game the score the game deserves.
As I have pointed out on this very podcast, I went on a press trip to see Gollum. So there's no there's really no higher achievement than that. I mean, you're somebody that went to a press trip to see fucking Mind's Eye, so we've really we've really run the gamut.
Listen, that's still got a chance.
Yeah.
I've got faith in Mind's Eye.
It all comes back around, because then some years later we would be sitting next to each other, pissing ourselves laughing at a robot Iron Man doing a dance and across the Man's Chinese Theatre in Hollywood. So
that's right.
All comes back.
That was a great wee dance. That was a great wee dance sequence.
What an insane situation. All the British press sitting in a line fucking howling with laughter about it while this random fucking light man comes up and starts dancing. Oh,
people who don't know what we're talking about would never guess what game that was for.
No, not at all. That dance and some of the reaction to it is part of our Summer Game Fest vlog, which will be coming out to patreon.com/Video Games Chronicle as part of our kind of anniversary stuff. Viola Hazy, who won the I Got My Switch picture competition. So the reason this got delayed was because the code that I was promised for it never ended up turning up, but I've secured a secondary one, so I will find the picture that I decided has won. Although there's some late breaking competition, because someone has posted a picture with a Celtic top with Kyogo 8 on the back of it, but I think because that was in July, that's out of the competition zone. So I'm sliding back up here to that was a fun period of time when everyone was getting their Switch. There's a really good one here with the whole Switch 2 lineup. This is from Mark. It has you on the telly. It has a dog wearing. Is that dog wearing a Mario hat? Oh, we might be on to a winner here. This is coming down to the wire. Viva Hazi's image is also very good, so it's hard to. There's a cat playing the Switch from Galaxy ID. I'm gonna. Oh, there's more dogs. Jesus Christ, there's so many of them. Chris, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Are you more a Switch, a cat playing the Switch, or a dog wearing a Mario hat, or a television with a suit, not a suit and tie on, because a television couldn't wear a suit, but a television with a tie on?
Probably the dog.
Oh, okay.
Is that controversial?
No, oh, there's a guinea pig one as well. It's so that's really, really.
Someone should maybe take offline.
Yeah. No. This I like. Oh, yeah. We're all about transparency on VGC. So me literally scrolling through these images and going, "Oh, that looks good." We're over an hour into this podcast now. If anyone's still listening, including those mentalists that complain about timestamps on the YouTube comments every week, then hell mend you. Congratulations to the winner of the I Got My Switch 2 competition. It is. Sorry, it's the dog in the Mario hat. Congratulations, Mark, for your shameless Chris Scullionism, your shameless dog in a Mario hat.
Oh man, that picture.
Yeah.
I've not seen it yet.
Oh, not only that, but in the picture there is also a PlayStation 5 Pro. So there's really no competition here.
Yeah. I know she kept that bit quiet.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mark. I will sort you out your code and DM you. Thank you to all that entered. Your pictures were very, very nice.
I think we should look into potentially doing a Mario Paint competition.
Oh, that's going to get explicit very quickly.
Now that Mario Paint is on Switch Online, and many of us have Switch 2s and mouse controls, I'd like to see what our listenership can do with the limited tools available to them on Mario Paint.
We'll get them to submit their best portrait of us to Mario Paint, and we'll make the winner an emoji in the Discord or something like that.
Exactly. Something low stakes.
Yeah, something. We'll give you a Switch 2. We will not give you a Switch 2. I'm going to bloody London tomorrow, Chris.
London?
Well, by the time you've heard this, I think by the time this goes out, I will be on a plane coming home, but I will have just played Battlefield 6. They've made a 6th one.
Was it good?
Don't bother editing this, Pete, but I'll give you two options, right? Ask me again.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was great. Ask me again.
Was it good?
No, it was shite. So either whichever one of those suits you. There's going to be influencers there, but there's also going to be press. So I'm looking forward to seeing some people. I'm looking forward to being in London, but I was in London.
That would influence me to go postal, I
believe. Oh, by which you mean go to a post office, not do something.
Yeah, and send a postcard home saying I'd like to come home there.
You're going to get Keir Starmer's going to take this podcast off the airwaves.
Listen, Keir Starmer is famously a massive VGC fan.
Yeah. Look, you say what you want about Boris Johnson, right? But see when he was coming up with a nickname for Keir Starmer, and the best they could do was Beer Korma because they had a curry. I was like, that's fantastic. That's such a shite joke.
To be fair, it's better than a lot of people call him Keith, and I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get
that. Like when they're insulting him, they go, oh, Keith. You know,
his name's Keir.
It's just another name.
That's not. Yeah. I mean, talk about make fun of the fact that he's like a proto-fascist. That's a bit better than calling him Keir. Yeah. Keith. See, even I can't do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It certainly doesn't. But no, it's a weird one. Keir Starmer loves the podcast. I know that for a fact.
It's weird because when we were sitting having dinner with him and you were saying if somebody wants a chug, they have to scan their own face. I think that's the future. He wasn't really up for it at first, but then when you jump over the table, leathered them, and then he got more into it.
Listen, these age verification things are dodgy as hell. I've done one or two of them now for various social medias. And there's different apps every time. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know who these apps are that are taking all my personal information. Like, there's no way of telling who these companies are that are getting your passport scans and all this kind of stuff.
See, I would never do that.
There's a lot of data being
just
processed
bandied
here and nobody knows where it's going.
I don't mind the face scan ones because, like it or not, we have put up hundreds of hours of our own faces on the internet, so we're not exactly private people. But I wouldn't be scanning my passport or scanning my driver's license.
I get quite annoyed. I get annoyed at the face scan ones because I like to think of myself as fairly youthful looking.
Yeah.
Despite being 42 years old, I'd say I look about 16.
But
when it scans my face and it goes up, yep, you're an adult. I'm like, sure, you don't want to like a second go at that.
I wish it estimated your age.
I know, it was just like 78.
You are 42. It's like when you would do Wii Fit and it would always estimate you as being like morbidly obese. Go to the hospital right now if they can fit you in, you fucking rhino.
But yeah, good times.
Good times to be had by all. So enjoy listening to this podcast for the last time before the Kier's woke Nazi police take us down for spending too long talking about, I don't know, Japan. Until next time. Next week will be it'll be us again because I'm away Monday to Wednesday, but I'm back on Thursday and Friday, so it'll be us again. We will continue to endeavour to do as little games news as possible during the summer holidays, and then I think the following week will be the same. We'll get a podcast for the three of us before the end of the universe, but until then, patreon.com/videogameschronicles. Say goodbye, Keith.
Goodbye, Keith.
And we'll see you next time.